The world is full of mind-blowingly strange creatures. And we're not talking about your naughty dog or cat at all. We're talking about creatures that are so weirdly mysterious, they almost seem like they can't possibly be real. But believe it or not, these creatures do exist in our world. They live among us. Some live deep in the ocean where Mother Nature didn't spare an inch of her creativity, while others live in the dense forests with stories that go beyond our understanding. If you're bored of waiting for the devil in the White City and want to learn something new about the bizarre side of nature, then don't blink your eyes, because here we're counting down 15 mysterious creatures that are too weird to be real. And trust us, the number 10 will make you crazy. Let's kick off this countdown with number 15, Wobbegong. First, this is not a fish by all means. We mean just look at that. This shark might remind you of a dusty old rug sitting in the attic, and it looks like that, let's be real. The Wobbegong is a type of carpet shark that has a flat, wide body and a frilly beard that helps them stay camouflaged on the seafloor where they live. They usually grow to about 4 feet in length, but some species can reach up to 10 feet. But what makes them mysterious and weird is their hunting technique, which is, let's say, pretty deadly. These alien-looking dudes are blessed with powerful jaw and needle-like teeth that they use to play with their prey, just like how a demon plays with his toys. Silent, precise, and absolutely unforgiving. Wobbegongs don't chase their meals, like a great white. Their shaggy, seafloor-matching bodies make them practically invisible. And the second an unsuspecting fish, or even another shark, gets too close, it's end. These guys don't just bite, they hold on. If a diver or surfer gets too close, a Wobbegong might latch onto them. And let's just say, it does not let go easily. Their leather-like skin is even used to make, well, leather. Number 14, hairy frog. Well, here we want to talk about water bears, because these tiny caterpillar-like tanks can survive anything. Boiling heat, deep freezes, even space. But then, we got sidetracked by something way gnarlier. Meet the hairy frog, a creature that proves nature has no chill. Found in Central Africa, the males grow furry-looking strands along their sides, not for fashion, but to help them absorb oxygen while babysitting their eggs. Sounds almost sweet, right? Yeah, well, here's where things get wild. This frog has retractable claws, but they're not made of keratin like a cat's. They're pure bone. And to use them, the frog literally snaps its own toe bones, forcing the claws through its skin like some amphibian wolverine. Just imagine breaking your own fingers on purpose to throw hands. Now tell me this frog isn't the most metal thing you've ever heard of. Number 13, Jersey Devil. Some legends are just campfire tales. This one? It made an entire state lose its mind. Deep in the pine barrens of New Jersey, where the trees stretch tall and the nights get way too quiet, lurks something that shouldn't exist. The Jersey Devil, a flying, hoofed, horse-faced horror that's been terrorizing locals since the 1700s. Blame it on Mother Leeds, who supposedly cursed her 13th child right out of the womb. The second that baby hit the air, it sprouted wings, let out an unholy screech, and bolted into the woods, never to be seen again. Well, not exactly. Over the years, farmers woke up to dead livestock, clawed-up fences, and hoof prints in places no normal creature could reach. By the early 1900s, mass hysteria gripped New Jersey, with people swearing they saw something watching them. And let's be real, there are a lot of crazy theories about it on the internet. It can be real. It can be an animal. But is it mysteriously weird? Number 12, bunyip. If you grew up in Australia, you've probably heard of the bunyip, and if you haven't, well, congratulations on sleeping peacefully at night. This swamp-dwelling cryptid has been a part of Aboriginal legends for centuries, and descriptions of it are all over the place. Some say it's got dark fur, a dog-like face, flippers, and walrus-like tusks. Others describe a walking starfish. and one 1845 newspaper went full horror mode, saying it had an emu's head, an alligator's body, and long claws designed for one thing: crushing victims to death in a bone-breaking hug. Whatever it looks like, the bunyip is bad news. It supposedly lurks in billabongs, creeks, and riverbeds, waiting for anyone foolish enough to get too close. Some believe the legend is based on ancient megafauna, while others think it's just a cautionary tale to keep people from wandering near dangerous waters. Either way, if something growls from the depths, run. Number 11. Deep-sea hatchet fish. The deep-sea hatchet fish looks like it has seen enough to last a lifetime. And then some. That haunted, hollow-eyed expression? Yeah, it's earned it. Life in the deep sea is brutal, and survival means adapting or vanishing. These fish don't just rely on their razor-thin bodies and mirror-like scales to avoid becoming someone's midnight snack. They have something way cooler: bioluminescent invisibility. Their undersides are lined with photophores, tiny organs that produce light through a chemical reaction. But this isn't just a flashy party trick, it's pure survival. The hatchet fish literally adjusts its own glow to match the dim light filtering from above, erasing its shadow and becoming nearly invisible. A predator looking up? They won't see a fish, they'll see nothing at all. That's deep sea life: adapt, evolve, or disappear. And judging by the hatchet fish's permanently haunted expression, it knows exactly how high the stakes are. Number 10. Owlman. It was 1976 in Monaghan, Cornwall, a quiet town, a historic church, and suddenly, a winged nightmare perching above it all. The owlman wasn't some ordinary bird you see every day. Witnesses described a human-sized creature with burning red eyes and claws that looked made for tearing, not perching. Not exactly the friendly neighborhood barn owl. For 2 years, this thing kept making appearances, always near the church, always unsettling enough to send kids and adults alike into full panic mode. And just like any good horror story, weird things started happening before it showed up. UFO sightings, animals acting like they knew something humans didn't. Sound familiar? Mothman fans, this one's for you. Then, just like that, it was gone. No more sightings, no answers. Was it real? A mass hallucination? A creature that never should have been there? Cornwall never figured it out, but let's be honest. If you saw a giant owl with glowing eyes watching you, you wouldn't stick around to find out. Number 9. Lizard Man of Scape Ore Swamp. You're driving down a lonely road in South Carolina, minding your business, when you see something in the rearview mirror. Tall, muscular, green, and gaining on you. Congratulations, you've just met the Lizard Man of Scape Ore Swamp. First reported in 1988, this 7-foot-tall reptilian nightmare was spotted by a local teen whose car got attacked, because apparently, this thing has a personal vendetta against vehicles. It left claw marks, shredded metal, and a reputation that still haunts Lee County today. The worst part? It climbs. Witnesses claim it has 3-fingered hands with suction-like pads, letting it scale walls like a horror movie villain. It doesn't just wreck cars, it might drop down from above. Last major sighting? 2008. But the stories haven't stopped. Maybe the lizard man got smarter. Maybe he's waiting. Either way, if you're ever in Lee County, keep your windows up and your engine running to keep your life going. Number 8. Yeti. For centuries, Himalayan locals spoke of the Yeti, a towering, hairy beast that roamed the snowy peaks. But it wasn't until 1921 that the legend took off, when British explorers found massive footprints in the snow and coined the name Abominable Snowman. Sounds like a lost race of primitive humans, right? Not exactly. The original term, man-bear snowman, gives a much better clue. Turns out, DNA analysis of supposed Yeti evidence, hair, bones, skin, All pointed to one thing: bears. Specifically, the Himalayan brown and black bears. These massive, shaggy creatures fit the description perfectly: big, bipedal when standing, and elusive enough to remain hidden in the treacherous mountain terrain. So, is the Yeti a cryptid, or just a very misunderstood bear? The footprints and sightings might say one thing, but science? It says we've known the real Yeti all along. Number 7. Dover Demon. April 21st, 1977, Dover, Massachusetts. A quiet town suddenly found itself at the center of something straight out of science fiction. Over the course of 2 nights, multiple witnesses saw a strange, hairless creature roaming the woods. Its description: a huge bulbous head, glowing orange eyes, long spindly limbs, and rough sandpaper-like skin. No nose, no ears, no mouth. Just a creature that shouldn't exist. Some say it was an alien, others suspect a failed experiment that escaped. Maybe even a being from another dimension. Whatever it was, the Dover Demon vanished after that weekend, never to be seen again. Was it mass hysteria? A case of mistaken identity? Or did something truly unearthly stumble into Dover that spring? No one knows. But the fact that multiple people saw the same thing, that's enough to keep the mystery alive. Number 6. Bigfin squid. For years, fishermen and scientists pulled up strange squid specimens, but it wasn't until the 1990s and 2000s that cameras finally captured this otherworldly creature in action. The bigfin squid looks like something straight out of science fiction, with its massive fins and eerily long, ribbon-like arms that can stretch over 20 feet. Unlike most cephalopods that jet through the water, bigfin squids use their enormous fins to glide silently through the deep, their movements slow and ghost-like. Their thin, dangling arms seem to drag along the seafloor, possibly snaring prey in ways scientists still don't fully understand. In fact, no one has ever actually seen one eat. Just another mystery in the abyss where creatures this mysteriously bizarre still exist. Number 5. Owlman. If nature had a VIP section for the most bizarre creatures, the Owlman would be slithering past the velvet ropes. This blind, cave-dwelling amphibian spends its entire life in pitch darkness, which means it doesn't even bother with functional eyes. Instead, it sees the world by detecting vibrations and chemicals in the water. Think of it as an aquatic Jedi, sensing everything without ever opening its non-existent eyes. But here's where it gets wild. The Owlman can live up to 100 years and survive for years without food, thanks to its ridiculously low metabolism. You could starve, move to a new city, change careers, and this thing would still be chilling in the same cave, waiting for its next meal. Its pale, snake-like body and eerie stillness make it look like something straight out of folklore. But nope, it's 100% real, proving once again that the deep, dark places of this world hold some truly unsettling secrets. Now let's talk about something mystical. Number 4. Flatwoods Monster. September 12, 1952. Small town, quiet night, and then boom, a UFO sighting turns into something way worse. The Flatwoods Monster, a 10-foot-tall nightmare, appeared in Flatwoods, West Virginia, and sent the town into full-on panic mode. Witnesses described a creature with glowing red eyes, green skin, and a head shaped like an ace of spades. No visible arms, or maybe it had short, clawed hands. Either way, not exactly friendly. The thing supposedly hovered or floated, its skirt-like lower half giving it an eerie, robotic movement. Some say it was an alien, others claim it was something even stranger. What's undeniable is the fear it left behind. Multiple people claimed they saw a strange mist, felt sick, and were absolutely convinced they had encountered something not of this world. Whether it was a cryptid, an alien, or just mass hysteria, one thing's for pretty sure: Flatwoods has never forgotten that night. Number 3. Whip scorpions. Have you ever seen a creature so nightmare fuel level terrifying that it looks like it was designed in a lab just to freak people out? Meet the whip scorpion, an 8-legged monstrosity armed with massive pincers and a chemical spray attack that would make even the toughest predators think twice. Unlike regular scorpions, these bad boys don't sting. They just blind you with science. Depending on the species, they can release a cocktail of chemicals from chlorine gas to formic acid, burning the eyes and irritating the skin of anything foolish enough to mess with them. Some even spray vinegar-like acid, which is why they're also called vinegaroons. And let's not ignore the whip-like tail, which just sits there, twitching menacingly. It doesn't sting, but it does make them look even more unsettling. The bottom line? Well, if you see one, give it space. Number 2. Pope Lick Monster. Goat legs, human torso, eyes that see straight into your soul. The Pope Lick Monster isn't just another cryptid. It's the reason people in Louisville avoid train tracks at night. Described as a goat-human hybrid, this horned horror lurks near the Pope Lick train trestle, waiting for its next victim. Legends say it hypnotizes trespassers or mimics voices to lure them onto the tracks, right before a train barrels through, leaving no escape. Others claim it jumps down onto cars, sending drivers into a panic. Some even say it wields a blood-stained axe, which, honestly, feels unnecessary given the whole mind control and goat demon situation. Here's the real tragedy. People have died on these tracks, trying to find the monster. Whether it's real or just a legend gone too far, the Pope Lick Monster has cemented itself as one of the deadliest urban myths out there. Number 1. Goat Man. Most cryptids lurk in the shadows, maybe spook a few hikers and call it a day. The Goat Man? Well, he straight up went on a killing spree. First spotted in Prince George's County, Maryland, this horned, half-goat, half-man monstrosity is said to be bloodthirsty. The first reports surfaced in 1957, but things got truly insane in 1962 when locals blamed the Goat Man for a massacre. 14 people, 12 kids and 2 adults, apparently got too close to its lair and paid the price. Survivors, who somehow remained unnamed, claimed the creature hacked them to pieces with an axe, all while letting out sounds that could only be described as pure evil. The Goat Man has been spotted near roads, woods, and abandoned buildings, always carrying its signature weapon. Some say it was the result of a twisted government experiment gone wrong. Others? They just know better than to walk alone at night in Maryland. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you very soon.